In this video, sponsored by Lancaster Insurance, there's a slightly disjointed look at where we are with Project Fox. Yeah, I didn't really plan this one very well. Trying to produce a video and star in it and do the camera work whilst actually achieving all that's necessary to get this car on the road is not particularly easy. So let's start when I went to the unit to change the gearbox and differential oil. Well, just topped up the diff oil. You'll see it's taken quite a lot. I did try sucking some of the oil out, but it couldn't find any to suck out. I appear to have made friends with a pigeon. Just been doing the gearbox oil on Foxanne. Now after doing that, I drove her home, and this is a bit of a report about what she was like on that trip. I think I've got her running a bit better now. Seems to be pulling more cleanly, seems a bit more eager. Yeah, that's 60 miles an hour there. Yeah, still not quite there, but then I made a major discovery. So let's get into that bit. Right, with the throttle pedal wedged to the floor, I have indeed got an awful lot of travel left on the throttle. All that, in fact. So she's getting nowhere near open throttle. I have to see if there's some adjustment somewhere. I shall look at that now. Ah, there we go. I've managed to improve it. That's the throttle pedal wedged down, and there's a tiny amount of movement there now. So I'm definitely getting over 90% of throttle with the throttle pedal down. Just have a look at this wonderful bracketry. There's some adjustment in this wonderful bracketry right here. So I'm able to pull this point higher to take the slack out of the cable. And that's mostly for Adam, who's been very helpful as ever at the Reliant Owners Club, providing plenty of information and advice pretty much as I need it. I've also bent the throttle pedal a bit because, I mean, that was sitting very low to the floor even when it was in the fully up position. It's now much closer to the height of these and has a lot more, actually feels like some throttle travel. So I think with that and the timing adjustments, I think we'll probably do another test drive. Might fit the wheels first. I've just been bodging them up with silver, and there's nothing I can do. I've been trying to find some new wheels, but I can't find any wheels the right size. In theory, these are Bedford HA van wheels. Although mini 12-inch wheels will fit, but probably have the wrong offset. So I was hoping to put the new tyres on the new wheels, but that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have to live with that slightly rotten back wheel for now. And yeah, that'll do. See if the paint's dry. Yeah, we'll get that back on. Go for a test drive. See if it's made any difference at all. That definitely feels like more throttle. Oh, yep, I'd say she's a bit more lively now. That's more how I expected it to be. Yeah, she's definitely getting full throttle now. Yeah, now she's feeling comfortable at 50, so we chuck her into the bend. now we get dawdly British tourists, sorry, dawdly English tourists. And they got England flags all over their car. Yeah, I'd say that makes quite a difference. Dear. And now we're losing power. Feels like fuel starvation. But we got plenty in the tank because I filled up yesterday. A bit peculiar. Well, whatever was upsetting us seems to have gone away now. Whoa! Remembering how old those tyres are. Good grief. Oh well. She's lively. That's 60. That's an indicated 70. Blimey. We're catching a Jaguar XK up. I'm testing the new camera mount, but that looks quite shaky to me, so I might need to revisit this one. Also got George down here sitting in his cat carrier, but he's getting so used to travelling in cars he's not shouting like he used to. Yeah, that's looking unusably shaky. I'm gonna have to find another solution. George has been dropped off. There's my failed solution, the Gorilla Pod, which I actually had. It came with my new camera mounted to the headrest, but yeah, it's all moving around far too much. It isn't working. So you're back on the windscreen for now. I think that was a friendly toot. We can get back to hoofing it back home. George has been dropped off with Rachel for the weekend because we've got to get to Bromley. It's going to be a noisy old drive, I think. This is up a very big hill. But yeah, she's certainly going quite nicely. Feels perhaps a little bit flat on full throttle, and it's very iffy on light throttle as well. So I suspect some carb tweaking and cleaning may be in order after the trip, unless you can self-heal. Might happen, you never know. But to drive, she's very entertaining, a bit like a Morris Minor. The front end is really quite good. You've got double wishbone suspension, rack and pinion steering, so turns in with very little steering output, input even, and feels very grippy and eager. But the back end is ancient technology with those leaf springs. That doesn't feel so good, it's not so positive. So you have to bear that in mind slightly. It feels like you could chuck it around like a Mini, but I don't think you can. I don't think that would be healthy. Temperature gauge still tends to read up towards hot when we're climbing a hill, or if we're holding 55, 60 for an extended period of time. So we're just going to have to see how that goes on the journey. She's never gone into the hot quite at the top. She's always stayed slightly outside it. Yeah, it's just one of those things to monitor. But voltage output seems healthy, and having a voltmeter, if that swings off, then I know the fan belt's gone. So it's nice to have some early warning of that. But otherwise, I think this will be alright. A lot of you have noticed the seats. They are, I believe, Volvo 340 seats. They are very comfy. Typical me, not quite enough room for my legs, but I think I'll cope. And after all, if I can do 200 miles in a day in an Inva car, I think anything else is going to be a piece of cake by comparison. Yeah, so now we're doing some hill climbing. The gauge has gone up again. It's probably about 3/4. A little concerning. I think the radiator might still be a bit clogged, in all honesty. That's 60 miles an hour. She just feels so eager. Tomorrow we'll get the tyres fitted, and then we'll be good to go. And I think with that work, I'll probably, well, or maybe now I'll call an end to this video. This is the final preparation video, and maybe we'll include the tyre fitting in the overall journey, because I think this one might be getting long enough. But suffice it to say, she's driving nicely. She is loud. She is a bit crude, but these cars always were. I mean, it feels like a 1950s car in many ways. Very agricultural, yeah, just a bit old-fashioned really. We've got all drum brakes in the early 80s. I mean, why you'd buy one of these when you could buy a Metro van with Morris badges in the sort of early to mid 80s? That would seem a far more sensible choice, I think, unless you really wanted the removable back body and the corrosion busting bodywork. I suppose compared to a Metro, that's a fair point. But yeah, I mean, Reliant always struggled trying to sell four-wheelers against the three-wheelers. The three-wheelers had their market, ex-motorbikers who wanted a bit more comfort, because you could drive a Robin and a Rialto on a bike license. This is too heavy, so you can't do that. And they weren't cheap either, so you were paying a premium for something that was outclassed in pretty much every department by the competition. Still, I'm glad someone did buy this new. I don't know who it would have been who bought Foxan new in 1983, but yeah, I'm glad they chose outside the box, because that is the joy of this car. It's not brilliant at anything really, but it's good fun and it's different, and that's what Hubnut is all about. So I'm going to leave it at that and continue with my journey home. And yeah, on Saturday we will begin the long journey to Bromley. Fingers crossed. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can go to hubnut.org to buy all the Hubnut merchandise. Some of it is offline while we do the Bromley show, but other stuff is still available for you to buy. Don't forget you can support us at Patreon, patreon.com/hubnut. Look for links in the description. And otherwise, thank you. And I look forward to bringing you more automotive merriment here on Hubnut. Farewell. Such larks!